everybody. Welcome in. Good morning. Longshore McKnight on location at the Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it. Presented by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy in association with our friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Barry, the morning wave has already come through the Montgomery Regional. Dallas, Charlotte, Atlanta flights already in the air. Folks traveling this morning.
You know what? And they're coming to the Montgomery Regional Airport, and they are making one trip.
Yes, they are.
They're not making two. They're not making a trip to Atlanta so they can make a trip somewhere else. They're not making a trip to Birmingham so they can go somewhere else. They're not double tripping.
No.
People have said before, John, you and Barry must be tripping. Well, we are. Anytime we fly, and we fly out of the Montgomery Regional Airport, we're tripping, but we're not double tripping.
Not double
You're not
tripping.
making one trip to make another trip.
That's right. Yep, you're coming here to the Montgomery Regional Airport. Quick, convenient, short drive from anywhere in central Alabama. Convenient parking right behind us here that you just walk into the terminal, hit the kiosk or go up to the check-in counter, zip upstairs through TSA, grab you a Dunkin' coffee. Or two. Or if it's later in the day, go to runway 28 for a cold Bud Light and, board your flight and you're good to go. It's that easy.
We will have a couple of experts on the show today. Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com, Rodney Orr, TigerInsider.com. You're not going to have a bigger expert on when's a good time to go ahead and get the Bud Light from. This is a man who has traveled some, particularly out of the Montgomery Regional Airport. If you think, well, I bet he hadn't tried this. I bet he has. I bet he's tried everything in the coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he's been through the gift shop 100 times. He probably knows every TSA agent by name. Hey, Eugene, how you doing, man? How's the wife and kids? That kind of thing. So, hey, if John says, easy squeezy, you do this, you bebop over there, you slide through there and everything, he knows what he's talking about.
I do. And usually I wait till around 11 a.m. to really start on the Bud Lights. But you never know. If you need to get one a little earlier, they can help you out there as well.
And here's another thing that John's an expert on. Whether it's going to Tuscaloosa, whether it's going to Atlanta, whether it's coming to the plains, he knows parking.
Yes.
Get this. We're in the terminal right now. We're in the terminal. That's the parking lot.
Right there.
Right there. My car's right there. John's is closer, like it always is.
Just walk
right
across.
There.
You're right here.
Can't beat the convenience at the Montgomery Regional Airport. Getting better the more you use it online at flymgm.com.
Barry, I probably should feel for people like this. I'm kind of a good-hearted guy. I don't want any misfortune or bad luck to come anyone's way. But I do kind of shake my head when people come up to us and say, guys, I've been listening to you for years, watching you now on your new format. I hear you talk about the conveniences of the Montgomery Regional Airport, but I just one more time had to go to Atlanta, and I got stuck in a construction zone or there was a traffic accident, and then I got to Atlanta, and I'm 10 miles from the terminal in some remote off-site parking lot that a shuttle van's got to come pick me up, and then I got to help me with my luggage because I had to drag it all on that shuttle van myself. And they certainly aren't helping me off with it when they unload me there at the terminal. And then I had to repeat the process coming home. There were more delays. It was such a headache. And all I thought about was, why did I not listen to John and Barry?
And we don't have an answer. I guess it's human nature. Some people say, John, you are totally off base. We're never going to get to a playoff in college football. John, more conference realignment? No, that's not going to happen. They don't listen. That's just basically human nature is to be doubtful. But then they come back and they say, I'm sitting there when they have that road grading project going on by the Noonan exit on I-85.
Yeah. Which one?
Sometimes you get involved in 2 or 3 traffic jams on the way to the Atlanta airport. And I'm sitting there in my car for the second hour listening to Longshore and McKnight on Spotify, and there we're talking about it right there, and I can hear them telling me on my radio. And I'm sitting there, and I am, John, Barry, I'm never going to not listen to you again.
Barry, just going over to media days in Atlanta last week, coming and going. The traffic was horrendous. Awful. And I'm not even talking about the time I got past Hartsfield. even before I got there. I mean, man, you're right. Peachtree City, Noonan, LaGrange, Opelika, construction going on everywhere. It was a headache, and I just felt for people that still have not listened to us, but more and more are, Barry, because we have so many people that say, fellas, I'll never fly anywhere but the Montgomery Regional Airport. Convenient low destinations, connections, as we mentioned, the Dallas, Charlotte, and Atlanta flights have already left this morning. Other ways are coming throughout the day, and we certainly encourage you to use the Montgomery Regional Airport. You can make a connection to anywhere on the globe from here in Montgomery. So try it out, flymgm.com.
Yeah, we'll say this, legitimate question from Bill from Baltimore. Do you pay to park at Montgomery Regional Airport? It's always an added cost of travel. Yeah, you do. Otherwise,
airport's got to make money too.
Well, they've got to keep out people who are just parking just to park, you know. So there is that. But I'm telling you, comparatively, it is tiny.
Bill,
it is very
not
small
only
charge.
is the parking facility very close to the terminal, there's a short walk. There are no shuttle vans, nothing like that. The cost of parking in the lot here is a lot cheaper than it is in Atlanta or Birmingham, for that matter, whether it's short term or long term. So you're not going to spend a lot of money on parking here at MGM either. So that makes it even more. The great. I love so many things about it, Barry. But probably the best thing is when I'm coming home, I'm home. I'm not going to look for my car in a remote parking lot, paying some exorbitant parking fee, and then driving 2.5 hours back to Montgomery. I'm here. I can be back at my house in 8 minutes from here. It's awesome. It's great.
You can't beat it. Montgomery Regional Airport. Again, you can book your flight at flymgm.com. You can check fares. You can do all of that. Flymgm.com and travel above.
Yes.
Well, it is Thursday. It is the 24th of July. If you look, the very first college football game of the year will take place in Dublin, Ireland on the 23rd of August. And it counts. I mean, Iowa State versus Kansas State. Also that day in Montgomery, UC Davis versus Mercer. That's on ESPN. That's from Crampton Bowl. So we are less than a month away from college football. This time next week, virtually everybody will be open fall camp.
They will.
At that point.
Looking forward to it.
Wait.
Barry, when you brought that up, it's the Aer Lingus Classic from Dublin, Ireland, Iowa State, Kansas State. I just forgot to do it. I wanted to ask Greg Sankey over in Atlanta. I'm always looking for something different because everybody asks him the same questions.
Yeah.
And I just forgot. How did I forget this one? But I wanted to ask, do you ever envision the SEC playing a game internationally? Notre Dame's done it. Obviously, Iowa State and Kansas State are about to do it. Other teams have done it. I believe Georgia Tech's done it. They played Boston College. No, Florida State last year. Georgia Tech beat Florida State in Dublin, I think. Will the SEC ever play an international game? I'm all about growing your product and spreading your product in other regions of the country. Now some conferences want to spread it in other parts of the world. The NFL's done an incredible job with it. They're very popular in Europe, down in Mexico. I mentioned seeing that this summer. Will the SEC do it? Yeah, it's a pain. It's a little inconvenient for your fan base, but is it worth exposing your product to a different part of the world?
I guarantee you there's parts of the world that would love it, that would welcome it more than they would welcome, some other things. But where would be the spot? Where would you go? I mean, would you start out in Toronto, the John Mechie, Norton McKay Lozier Classic? Would you start out in Mexico City? How's Mexico City in terms of
it's big
hosting
that is a big place, flying into it. Well, they played NFL games there, Barry, for many years. The elevation, people might not realize this, but Mexico City's like as high as Denver, like 7,000 miles above, 7,000 feet above sea level. And I want to say one time the NFL was playing, they had a smog issue or something down there. So I don't know.
They do have, from what I understand, small issues.
So I think that might be. But do you go to London? Do you go to Dublin?
London.
Frankfurt, the Frankfurt Galaxy from the World League back in the day.
Oliver Luck was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you was Saban really kind of serving as an advanced scout for SEC play in Italy? Him and Miss Terry, they signed off on Italy. They actually ran. They had a few roll tides when they got to Italy. That's not surprising. So,
I don't know. There again, I'm kicking myself for forgetting to do that. But I wonder, is it worth it? There again, the NFL's doing it for exposure. They want to grow all over the world. Why are Kansas State and Iowa State going? What benefit do they see in it? What did Georgia Tech and Florida State see in it? Okay, it's a great trip for your kids. I get that. But you're playing in a stadium that's got to be different. I'm sure they're going to try to set it up as close as they can to a college stadium, but it's going to be different. It's your fans that go. The seating is going to be different. The game day atmosphere is going to be different. I just wonder, could and how do I say this? If you're
He's always worried about offending people.
So
He needs to be less sensitive and nurturing and caring and stuff.
I think if the SEC worked out a deal to play a game in Europe, for instance, and I think the TV network will probably mandate this. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think they're going to want Mississippi State to go. I'm just saying. Don't think that's the team that would go. Probably not going to send Kentucky, maybe, I don't know, South Carolina's probably not going to go. They're going to have a good year this year. Who would go? Well, I think the first pick would be, Texas?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Yeah.
Because even the Brits, even if they're gathering into Wembley and they see Mississippi State, they're like, "Oh, mate, they're bloody awful." Even they would be able to tell bad football.
I would say, Barry, that if they did something like that, and it was Texas, Alabama, Georgia, whomever, even Auburn, I think one of the stipulations from those teams would be, we're not playing a conference game over there. Now, we'll go play Eastern Illinois or Mercer, but we ain't playing Tennessee.
The problem is, you better have a bye week either before or a bye week after, or preferably a bye week before and after, because that's a long stinking way. You think Starkville's hard to get to? You think Fayetteville's difficult?
Well, I think that's why you got to play it the first game of the year. You
got to have a bye week.
But you come back. You got to have a bye week. And I don't know how the NFL does it. The Jags should tell you. I mean, they've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I just thought it'd be curious. Other teams, other leagues have done it. Would the SEC be interested? Do they even need it?
A couple of quick points. Jason Caldwell, auburnundercover.com, coming up about 15, 17 minutes. Rodney Orr, TigerInsider.com, presented by the Destin Connection Seafood Market a little bit later on. We have got, again, what seems like SEC Media Days light. The ACC Media Days were once again, God bless them, John. Those poor guys, the coaches, the players, they're at ACC Media Days. I think it wrapped up yesterday. And it seems like 80% of the questions, at least 80% of the responses that the national media is covering have to do with the SEC. Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos, the transfer from Boston College, he was asked again about his statement that they're going to have something for Alabama in the opener. And he says he didn't back off of it at all. And I'm thinking that's fine. I don't blame him for thinking so. It'd certainly be interesting if he said, "Oh my gosh, we're going to get drilled." Holy smokes. But why ask? This is AC. I understand it's the first game of the season, but it's like more than half of the questions those guys are being asked have to do with the SEC.
Well, that goes to show you. I'm with you. It's in their head. That's all they want to talk about. Big Ten's doing the same thing out in Vegas.
CJ Duncan mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there again, Barry, it doesn't matter if we play 8 or 9 games. We've been going back and forth, and we don't need the Big Ten to dictate to the SEC. Well, you better start playing 9. There again, I think we all know that the overall schedule in the SEC is much more difficult than it is in the Big Ten. Plus, the non-conference competition that the SEC plays. Barry, I don't have a problem sticking with 8. if we still have quality non-conference opposition on the schedule. Some teams are already scheduling 2 Power 5 non-conference games. I love that. But if they go to 9, okay, great. But don't let somebody dictate it to the league of, well, you better go to 9 or we're not going to agree to a playoff scenario. Look, the TV networks know who they want in the playoff. Now, it's up to these teams to get there, but whether they get there with 8 or 9 conference wins, that's who they want. And I don't have a problem with it. I'm tired of talking about it. Just do it and let's move on.
Of course, later on, the Phantoms Daily Dog will have that as well. Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. We'll address some of those topics blindly going in. Maybe, and I don't do this often, I don't usually read Philip's Thursday morning musings, his Monday morning musings. I usually don't read those.
You just wait for me to read them
unless
and go,
John
you got to watch this.
Brings them up. This may be, this Thursday, this today, got to give credit where credit due. Philip Marshall, AuburnUndercover.com. That may be his best Thursday morning musings I've ever read from
Wow,
Philip.
Really? Man, impressive.
It's so many things I didn't know. I truly didn't know.
Well,
we're going to get to that as well. Lots of other stuff to talk about in terms of
you better believe
sports.
it. A lot going on today here on the program. Got an email we're going to share, 2 of them actually, that came yesterday. Probably came, let's see, that game started at 11:10 yesterday in the morning, was probably over about, 2 o'clock. That's about when that email came in. We'll touch on that. Love the emails. Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com is the best way to email us. Of course, you can always get in on the River Region Straw chat line. That's going on right now. Really appreciate everybody getting in this morning. Good morning to everybody as well. Of course, we're live 7 to 9, but you can watch us anytime you want to at yellowhammernews.com, YouTube, Facebook. Of course, we're on Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. So many ways to consume our content. We really appreciate you hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button as we broadcast live from the Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it.
Hey, we also stopped by. We've got the limited edition Longshore and McKnight bumper stickers. Be the first on your block just by coming by and saying hello. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. In association with Yellowhammer News, it's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Now through July 31st, take advantage of the quadruple zero event at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. 0% APR for up to 48 months. 0 down payment. 0 payments for 90 days and 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. The quadruple zero event offer is available on select 24 and 25 model F-150s, Explorers, Expeditions, Broncos, Mustangs, and Escapes. Stop by Stivers Ford at 4000 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery for more information. Stivers Ford, where price sells cars and trucks.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. About 19 minutes past the hour here on this Thursday. Longshore McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, along with all of the great AB products that they distribute. So, we're here at the Montgomery Regional Airport. You fly out of here a lot. I do as well. The Auburn Tigers do. When they go to Waco in a couple of weeks, Barry. They'll be flying out of the Montgomery Regional Airport.
I guarantee you, week 3 of the Troy football season, the Trojans are going to be flying to Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
Out of the Montgomery Regional Airport. And even more important, to John's point, after that big win against the Buffalo Bulls, Trojans' triumphant flight back will be back through the Montgomery Regional Airport, where it's just a short trip down to Troy. Truly, you can get anywhere here from the Montgomery Regional Airport. Hey, you ever look on the River Region Straw chat line? That's where most of the genius on this program. Our buddy Plainsman Preston, you may have seen us coming out of the commercial break talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Plainsman Preston came by.
He sure
the
did.
Otis.
The Otis came by. He sure did. Grew up here in Montgomery, now lives up in North Alabama, but had to come to the capital for a little business yesterday. Before we headed back up north, he wanted to come by and say hello. We greatly appreciate him doing so.
Awesome.
And always appreciate our viewers and listeners giving us a shout out or come by and saying hello.
Here's a point from Curtis. He says, you a lie. You read PM every time it comes out. PM, of course, is Philip Marshall. I don't. I mean, I am a subscriber. John is a subscriber to Auburn Undercover. Philip is not my first that I read. I read Jason Caldwell. I read Christian Clemente. I read Nathan King. I think they do a great job. And then if I've got time, then I'll see what Philip's got to say. John, boom, immediately. Philip, what?
Yeah.
Isn't it time for his Thursday morning musings? What's the story? And I said, John, it's 6 o'clock, and I don't care. I need
I'm with you. You know what? I'm just, I've grown, as we've told you before, grew up with Philip when he was a writer here in Montgomery for the Advertiser. Junior high school, I'd go to the library at Cloverdale, get that newspaper that was on that stick called a dowel, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I'd read Philip. He was a columnist here, and so I've been.
That would be the second thing he would look at.
Yeah.
The first thing he got at his little notepad, thinking, "Really, Georgia Tech plus 3.5?"
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm like 15. Write down numbers like D'Annunzio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always kind of done that. And there are some nuggets in there I'm going to get to, or we'll get to throughout the day today. Yesterday, Barry, our friend David emailed Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. And this came yesterday afternoon. And he said, "The Phantom" is the headline of the email.
Yep. Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. He said, "The Brew Crew may be the best team in MLB right now. On fire, cashing those tickets. I also hope the Phantom saves some of his powder for college football." He could have used some of it the last couple of years.
Whoa.
LLL. Love y'all on YouTube. That is our buddy David.
Yes, that is David.
Save your powder for college football season.
Uh-huh.
Phantom's got plenty of powder.
Got plenty of powder.
Come on. Powder's dry, man. We are ready. Phantom figuratively is standing right over that fuse with the match already lit, man. All he's waiting for is the opening weekend.
That's right.
Light that fuse then.
Now, David also says baseball tickets cash with local man, the same as football. Keep up the winning work. That's from David and Opelika. David, we're going to try. We certainly appreciate the shout out. Thank you so much, Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. And I got to tell you, we don't want to pat ourselves on the back, toot our own horns, but we've been on a pretty good streak with the NBA and Major League Baseball.
It's been amazing.
Through NBA regular season, through the postseason, Major League Baseball regular season. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. We'll get into that next hour when the Phantom's Daily Dog is released, and we give you a recap of the selection from yesterday. But I think you probably already know what happened with David's emails, but we appreciate that. And we're going to try to keep the winners coming for you. Wow, tough 2 years for the Phantom. Whoa, wait a minute. Ow. Man, did you not see the Phantom in postseason bowl action and NFL playoffs?
Yeah.
Woo. Man, good stuff.
Well, it was a remarkably quiet day yesterday in sports. Arrests? No, nothing like that. What would have been the two themes lately about Auburn and Alabama? Auburn been catching up a little bit in recruiting.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yep. Alabama continues to get the 5 stars and the 4 stars.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit embarrassing.
Quarterbacks from Hawaii, all that kind of stuff. Gotta ask Rodney about
Rodney
that guy.
calls it the summer rain. REIGN.
I like that.
There is one more guy that, according to Rodney, we'll ask him about this. I'm just talking out of school. Rodney says, quote, "Now for the Tide to sweep the state. The only one left is Mobile St. Paul's 5-star edge defensive end Anthony Tank Jones."
What's the guy waiting on? Let's go.
He has a final 3 of Alabama, Oregon, and Texas A&M.
Wait a minute.
A strong Mobile source close to the situation told TI over the weekend that as of now, Oregon probably leads.
Sounds like some cash might be involved with that.
Well,
deal.
you think?
Yeah, with Oregon in the mix.
You think?
Kind of makes. That's find that very interesting, Barry. Texas A&M, Alabama, and Oregon. Was there not another school interested in this young man?
That may not be willing to throw the cash out to him.
We'll have to ask Rodney about that at the top of the hour. Also,
so other than that, I mean, there's been nobody committed. There's been nobody gotten in trouble.
No, not at all.
You know, baseball's been kind of going along.
Well,
the way it has been lately.
You know, I've got my fingers crossed, Barry. Not that I think this is going to happen, but the students are arriving back on campus in about a week.
Correct. Yes. All over the state.
You know, and I was guilty of it. I got back to Tuscaloosa a little ahead of the start of school because actually that was the most fun. I mean, you weren't doing anything. You were just, I got to get my apartment ready, or I got to move into the house with my 3 other buddies, or you know, I got to go
out, partying, chasing some, and you don't have class.
Yeah. Chasing fly balls.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You never have that gnawing sense in the back of your head. I'm not sure John ever had it anyway. That, man, I really need to study. But even if he did, you don't have it that first week before everybody else.
That's right.
Comes back.
That's right. So yeah, spend a couple of weeks getting, back in the groove, back in the swing of things. Which that consisted of getting up about 11. Going to the city cafe to get a meat and 3. Maybe see if you could squeeze in 18 that afternoon.
Yeah, get that Bloody Mary ahead of time, a little extra Tabasco because of last night's activities.
I don't know if they still have bar wars up there. They did when I was in school. So you just find the bar that had the cheapest beer and drinks, and you just go there like at, I don't know, 6 o'clock, little ease into it, go eat dinner, rest up, then go back out. I mean, what a life. It was great. Well, and then school started. Then reality hit. You went, oh, wow, I actually got to go to school now? Oh, no fun.
So you've got, this is the calendar. Tomorrow, I'm actually not going to, I'm going to be on the show tomorrow, but I'm not going to be on location with John because I got to leave a little bit early because I'm reading names at summer graduation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Summer graduation's a piece of cake. You have about a third as many graduates, and Troy has a ton of graduates these days. And so graduation is tomorrow. Then you have a little break, and then you get started. I think registration or some of the activities start beginning on maybe the 13th, 14th of August, and then boom.
Yeah, it's there.
Summer's over.
It is.
Time to get your game faces on. Time to get your Phil Steels. Start studying, making sure that all the X's. Listen. If you're at that point of the season where you're thinking, man, I got to make sure I've paid my Tide Pride or my Auburn Ignited because listen, if you ain't got your season tickets yet.
Yeah, you're done.
Yep.
And also, Barry, you've also got to have a little bankroll getting ready for the school season to start, football season to start. And the Phantoms Daily Dog has certainly helped a lot of people's bankroll with the NBA and Major League Baseball over the last 3 or 4 months. So, as David and Opelika mentioned in an email, and I know a lot of other people have as well, get your little bankroll. Got to be patient. Don't want to get too crazy early, but you got something to kind of play with, if you will. Also, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, Barry. Well, you kind of do. I'm kind of ready for the kids to get back into school. I like a routine. I don't like this, it's fun for a minute, but, I'm ready for school to start back and get things to be a little organized, if you will.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, they wouldn't like to hear me say that.
Feel the same way. When we come back, like we mentioned, some good stuff. Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com. He will join us in his regularly appointed time. We're live at the Montgomery Regional Airport. FlyMGM.com and travel above. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Did you know that Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air service fee is good for 30 days for all 4 trades? That's right. If we service your home's electric, plumbing, HVAC, or garage doors, we will come back within 30 days for any of the 4 trades at no additional cost to you. A licensed and trained Dixie technician will service your home with our signature warehouse on wheels, and all work will be backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for?
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Longshore and McKnight on this Thursday. Joining us now, as he does each and every week, is Jason Caldwell from AuburnUndercover.com. Jason, thanks for joining us. And I wanted to start out by saying I love your new feature, the 2-minute timeout at Auburn Undercover. I love checking it out every day.
I appreciate it. Just started thinking about it going, just a couple of minutes a day just to kind of, hey, what's on my mind this morning, or maybe to get a chance to, things, maybe it's not a story, maybe it's not a full podcast, but it's like, hey, just a little thoughts, things like that. I just put mine up for today and talking about Rayon Strader, a guy who was a big time get out of the portal, who's kind of been overlooked. And you start thinking about all these names you talk about for Auburn, and he's not a guy that gets mentioned very much, but I think he's a really good player. So just a way to kind of get an additional thought out there every morning, just to kind of what's on my mind.
Yeah. It's on AuburnUndercover.com with all of Jason's work and Christian's and Nathan's and Phillips and all those. It's wonderful stuff. Been a subscriber for forever. Jason, first of all, the recent surge in high school recruiting commitments for Auburn, is that part of a bigger plan, or is it just how it's rolled out?
I think it's really more just how the timing has worked out for some of the guys they've been in on. I think they felt good about a couple of these guys and thought, hey, look, we're going to have some of these things maybe down the line. There's still a chance for a couple other pretty big names too. Braylon Womack being the biggest, who's a big-time safety out of Mississippi, but Jace Matthews is wide receiver out of Mississippi. So there's still a few names there. Big offensive lineman from Bradenton, Florida is another guy. So there's still a few guys that, hey, could potentially, come Auburn's way here before the season starts. And, we talked about kind of what could it look like before September, and we said, look, that could be 13, 14, and it wasn't going to be a class of I still don't know how we're getting to 31, 32, 33 on some of these recruiting boards, but Auburn's class wasn't going to be that big, but we felt like they had a chance to make a little noise, and obviously the addition of the last couple of guys, including Jaquez Wilkes, was pretty big for Auburn.
I've lost track, and I'm within an athletic department every day. I've lost track of titles, Jason. I mean, you have general managers, you have directors of scouting, you have player personnel directors, high school relations directors. You mentioned in another piece, and it caught my attention because You mentioned adding several veteran personnel pieces to the scouting department.
Yes.
And yes, people, it is fair to call it a scouting department. Tell us, first of all, about the hires, and tell us really how all that works, if you can.
Yeah, well, we don't have enough time for that, I don't think. But, because we're not an NFL society in Alabama, but this essentially that's what's happening now in college football. It's become an NFL front office, basically, for lack of a better term, because much like I say that, but it's even to the nth degree, because NFL front offices, you do a lot of scouting, but most of it is college scouting, preparing for the draft. You'll do some others. Right now in college, you're scouting high school offers. You're scouting those guys to see who you want to offer and who you want to recruit in the high school ranks. But now, as important has become, you've got to scout college football, and you have to be prepared for if and when guys go in the portal, because you already have to have an evaluation done to know, is that a guy we want to pursue or not? Because it's that quick. I mean, it's 2 minutes. If you don't have a phone call in, a message in, then you're probably behind 30 schools and it's over with. So that's what, they continue to beef up. We saw LSU do it a couple of weeks ago. Auburn was already in the plans to do it, but you add, Rex Hogan comes over from was with the Jets as an assistant GM, and he's going to be basically the director of scouting. And what that means is he will go across the country just like NFL scouts do when they go scout players to do those things. He'll be all over the place. He'll be in Auburn some, but his job is going to be basically to be almost like an NFL scout, to where he will go and scout players that are potential guys, and which will probably mean smaller schools looking at guys like that maybe are on the NFL radar for 2 years from now. That those are the kind of guys that look to jump up and play their last year at a school like that. So that's part of what his job will be. Javon Hubbard is a guy that will do some scouting, probably more traditional scouting for him, but he's been with Hugh Freeze at Liberty before that. But he's also worked in the NFL and has that side of things too. So you got a couple of guys with NFL backgrounds in a world that is now more NFL-like than it's ever been. And so I think that's the biggest thing.
But unlike the NFL, I mean, the head coach in college is still going to have the final say-so. All these new staff members, GMs, whatever, that evaluate this talent and bring it to the table, do they tell the coach, this is who we want or who we're going after? Does the coach have the final say-so of, let's go after this guy, I'm not so much interested in this one?
Yeah, Will Redmond is the GM. And much like an NFL roster, he's going to have a lot of impact on how the roster is built. Now, the coaches will obviously go, hey, I don't like that guy. I don't think he's very good. But they have a lot of faith in Will Redmond because in nowadays you can't do it all. In 1988, your coach go, we're going to go recruit these guys, and I can go scout them, and I can watch some video on it, and I can still coach my guys. You can't do that now, because half the time you got is you're spent trying to keep the guys on your own roster, and that's a lot of the job of the coaches nowadays. And you're coaching them, and you're recruiting. You can't do it all, and so now it's changed dramatically. But Will Redmond is a guy that they trust and they hired for a reason, is to take a lot of those things off the plate of Hugh Freeze, because again, you're busy coaching, you're doing those things. You can't do personnel when you're talking about not only your 85 guys. It used to be 85 guys and maybe the 45 guys you're recruiting and you're worried about those guys. Now it may be 85 guys and 150 guys that you might be looking at all over the country too.
That is truth for sure. The commitment of Jacquez Wilkes didn't feel like a surprise, Jason. Tell us, if you can, about his reasons for committing and his reasons for committing what he did, and what kind of a player Auburn fans can expect.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I think I said, look, I always felt like that Keldrick Faulk was going to wind up at Auburn once you got the right people in place to recruit him and to show him what it was. It's kind of the same way with Jacquez Wilkes. I always felt like it was going to be Auburn because of small town feel. That was a big part of it. I think proximity to home was a big deal for him. But as much as anything, I think he just felt like that's the people I connect with. And, I looked at, Miami and Texas A&M, and it just didn't fit right for him because of the size. And you go like, man, Auburn's has grown a lot, but it's not, it's not either one of those places. And I think that's a good thing for Auburn in some regards, especially for a guy like Jaquez Wilkes. But much like Keldrick Falk, I think he's a guy with tremendous upside because he can dominate at his level, but he also plays basketball, and you play both ways. You're playing linebacker and you're playing running back, and you're doing all these different things. Once he specializes and says, okay, here's what I am, and it's going to be linebacker at Auburn. I think he's a guy that probably weighs 250 pounds and is probably faster and more athletic than he is today when he gets in that strength and conditioning program. So I think there's a ton of upside for him. And the question is, like, how much bigger does he continue to get? If he gets, 6'5", 265, then he probably puts his hand on the ground at some point, but that'll be okay too. So, but a guy with, I think, tremendous upside, and I think home, that family feel for him was a big deal.
Jason, I had two kind of general college football questions. The first one, and it certainly involves Auburn, but this talk about going from 8 to 9 conference games. One of the things I hear about, if they go to 9, one of the pluses is you'll play everybody in the conference home and away within a 4-year period, but you could lose, or probably would lose, some of your rivalry games. Auburn, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. I'm sure there's a lot of others. I guess, first of all, if that did happen, what do you think the reaction would be if the Auburn-Georgia game was not every year? And would that affect the Iron Bowl? If they go to 9 games, would the Auburn-Alabama game be yearly, or would it be on a rotation?
Yeah, I think that game would stay, in my opinion. I think that one would stay. I think there would be games that would stay. I think Florida-Georgia would stay. I think there would be games that would then stay if you do that. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because here's the thing. We've already been through this before because Auburn doesn't play Tennessee and Auburn doesn't play Florida. And so those were 2 big games that were very important games that have been gone. And so now you look like, can you get those back on the schedule more often? So I'm kind of torn a little bit. It's the price of having 16 teams in the league now. I think for the future of the league to be able to balance out schedules a little better, I think you need to go to 9 games because I think you need to play more teams in the league to spread some things out. Because you're looking right now, and it's never going to be great because you're always going to have these draws. But right now, there are teams that you go like, that's a much different schedule than that team's playing based on who you play. And, right now for Auburn, honestly, this season's about as favorable a schedule as you're ever going to have for an Auburn team. And you look at it and you go, you're at Oklahoma, you're at Texas A&M, and you get Alabama and Georgia at home. That's still some pretty tough games, but this is about as easy as it gets because, heck, next year, if it doesn't change, then you could rotate, Missouri, Kentucky, and Vandy off, and you could rotate Tennessee, LSU, and Florida on. And you could have Tennessee, LSU, Florida, and then have Alabama, Georgia, which is what it kind of always was. So I think it would help balance out schedules for the league if you can play more teams. I think that would, to me, if you're searching for the right way to get to the end game nowadays, which is always what teams have enough schedule and have done enough to make the playoffs, then I think 9 games is the way to go.
My second part, Notre Dame's done it. Georgia Tech and Florida State did it last year. Iowa State and Kansas State are doing it this year. Do you ever envision an SEC team playing a game internationally?
I don't, just because I think it's so taxing on you. Because I'm telling you, I made the trip to Berkeley for that Cal game for Auburn, and it took 2 or 3 weeks for me to get over it, and I didn't play the game.
And that's not just overseas. Sometimes Berkeley feels like another world.
It does. It's another world, all right, but it wasn't overseas.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
But I think because of that, and I remember Hugh Freeze like, we're not doing that again, because he felt like how much it impacted his team. I think because of playing in this league and because of the things you do, I just don't see it happening. Now, I might have to eat those words. I do think what we're going to see, even with a 9-game, is especially because of that. I think you're going to see these bigger matchups still happen because you can afford to lose games now. This is not. And I'm trying to get it over people like, well, Auburn was picked, 11th in preseason polling out of 16 teams, and the team that finished 11th last year went 8-4. You go 8-4, and depending on how it falls, you're in the playoff discussion because of the schedule you play. When you play a Baylor at the beginning, that's the thing I think about now. Is like you can afford to lose games, and so I think you can play more of these big interconference matchups, whether it's Big Ten or whether it's Notre Dame or whoever, and still live with that, even if you were to lose a couple of games.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yep.
Jason, what does the start of preseason camp look like? When will they officially? I hate to use the word. When will they officially report? When will they get ready?
Yeah, they report on the 29th, and I think they get a few days off now, so this is their time where they get a chance to go home and rest and do things one more time. They'll officially come back on the 29th and then start practice on the 30th. So the first day will be the 30th. I think that's our day where we get Hugh Freeze and we'll get some players and we'll get a chance to watch a little bit. So, yes, so July 30th, we're starting practice in the month of July. And it's crazy to think about, but, heck, it could be worse, as I mentioned, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
To be in Georgia where you play a high school football game on August 15th. So I guess it could be worse.
Whoa. Final question, quick thought about Butch Thompson. Big contract extension, big raise for him. If the program already wasn't pretty doggone stable, it feels even more stable now.
Yeah, 6 years guaranteed extension for him, a raise to $1.5 million, which pushes him kind of the top half of the league. And for the entire staff, he got raises for the staff, so they're now top half of a league that is very invested in baseball, and so that's a big deal. All the success you've had come within not only a couple of games, but maybe a couple of pitches from being back in the College World Series again, and so you look at that success, and then look at potentially what this roster looks like next year, and it could be the best one they've had since Butch has been here, in my opinion. And so you start talking about the possibilities. Yeah, stability is big. And so you're talking about recruiting. You're talking about the future of the program, all the things that have been done. Went over 200,000 in attendance last year, and I think that will get shattered this year. A lot of positives to be built on for Auburn baseball. So, yeah, I think it was a really big deal.
Well, for that bit of news, for everything having to do with the upcoming preseason camp, John's right. For Jason's 2-minute timeout, all that kind of stuff, auburnundercover.com. How do people access, Jason?
Yeah, like I said, auburnundercover.com. And like I said, come check us out. Tons of things going on, previews. I got position preview up this morning for defensive tackles. Nathan King continuing to pull out little parts and bits and pieces of maybe guys to watch, surprise guys, things like that for the team. Christian Dooner's recruiting and Philip back on his musings. So there's a whole lot to read and check out. So come find us. And normally we kick up some deals around the start of camp. So keep checking in. And so there may be some subscription deals to find here as they get ready for camp.
I like it. I like it. Jason, as always, so much information, so well presented. Thank you very much for the time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Jason Caldwell, auburnundercover.com. Sorry I'm over in Atlanta last week at Media Day. It's always good to catch up. As we broadcast live here from the Montgomery Regional Airport. Barry, I don't know if you heard that PA announcement while we were talking to Jason. And I guess this is a good news, bad news situation.
I did hear it, but I couldn't piece together what she was saying.
Basically, they have an oversold situation on the next flight out. They're looking for volunteers to take a later flight. Of course, there is some financial compensation attached to that if you elect to do so. And so, for people that might not be having to be somewhere at a specific time, can maybe take a later flight and there again be compensated for it. That's okay. That's good. But it also just is a sign, Barry, that people are utilizing the Montgomery Regional
what I'm
Airport.
thinking.
I mean, if you have an oversold situation, that means, hey, we need more flights.
Yep.
We need bigger equipment. So that's there again. I look at that as a good news situation when you have oversold flights, and that's something the airlines do. I know some of the little intricacies of the airlines. They oversell flights on purpose because of no-shows and things of that nature that they figured out over the years and doing all this stuff. So they build that in, and yeah, sometimes it bites them, but they're again going to compensate you in some aspects. You can get compensated pretty nice.
John and I both travel quite a bit. We both fly quite a bit. I've done that once before. I've only really had the opportunity to do that a couple of times. I've done it once before, and I'm thinking, especially if your travel availability is pretty wide, especially if if you don't have to be somewhere at exactly. I mean that ain't bad at all.
No.
I mean I'm made out like a bandit.
Sure.
I'm thinking, does everybody know about this? Because that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do have a question, and I wish I could flip the camera around.
All right.
But right across from us, that
Sure.
thing that looks like a CAT scan machine.
Yes.
There you say, and the sign right where I can almost reach it. It says push luggage through. You can get your luggage scanned right there.
Right there.
It goes straight through.
Yes.
So you
I
skip
mean,
a
Barry,
step
you've watched
there.
these people coming in from the parking lot. They walk up to the kiosk. Here, Delta and American both have kiosk available for you. If you'd like to go to the counter and speak to a human being, you can do that as well. The check-in is extremely quick, and then you just bring your luggage over here to the TSA check. They scan your bags. They send it out to the plane. You go up the escalator, go through TSA with that pre-check. Very important that you get that. Makes it even more convenient.
And that stairwell, that escalator, that's right there too.
Sure. I mean, you're not getting on a train and going to a terminal, 8 miles away, and you're not standing in a long TSA line that has a sign that says this line will, from at this point, you'll get through TSA in an hour and a half. Not here. You'll zip right through TSA, and there again, you can just walk into the gate area, grab you some Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, or a donut, or a breakfast sandwich at this time of day. Later in the day, runway 28's open for great sandwiches and beverages. I've had sandwich there many a time, and for afternoon and evening flights. So they got you hooked up here, Barry, at the Montgomery Regional Airport. It just makes it so easy and so convenient, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we look forward every time we have a chance. We're here at least every month, and they always treat us well. You always see smiles on everybody's faces. We actually saw the last time we were here, one guy, he said, "Really? You can see?" He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, that's all we need." All right, great. I'm done. Wait a minute. I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to stand in line. All
Easy.
Right.
I mean, great. These horror stories I hear from people, I almost just have to laugh.
Yeah.
It really is. It's incredible. But people are learning, and we greatly appreciate that. All right, I know we're coming up close to the top of the hour here in a moment. Jason hit on something that I've been wanting to hit on throughout the week. We'll probably have to get to it after Rodney today. We'll see. But, there are a lot of changes in college football. The Athletic had an article earlier this week about the value of college athletic programs, kind of in a sense of what is an NFL franchise worth?
Right.
Well, what is a college football team worth? I thought that was interesting. And then I believe we got an email earlier today as well from Bill in Baltimore wanting to know about our college football programs for sale. And,
we've been hearing about like private equity firms investing in college programs and things like that. And I'm not sure how that would work. All I'm telling you is that they're exploring how that would work.
And
it may be a thing.
We've talked about uniform changes, tweaks, alterations, whatever you want to call them. But not that I would be in favor of it. Maybe it's just a personal thing. I think I could grow into it. I mean, I'm an advertising guy. I mean, I'm here to spread the word for you. I get it. I'm a big, you know me. But do I want to see a patch for Love's truck stops on the side of Alabama's jerseys? Do I want to see the Torch 85 on Auburn's jerseys in honor of the legendary Pat Dye who had breakfast there multiple times a week?
In honor of Danny from Foley, do you want to see on the back bottom of Auburn's helmets where it says War Eagle at the bottom, on the left side, the SEC logo and the swoosh? the new swoosh on the right side, the big Buc-ee's logo.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want that. Is that where we're headed, though? I mean, what do you, the fans, think? Are you okay with? Because you can see Premiership soccer teams, you can see MLS soccer teams, you can see WNBA basketball teams. Logo, biggest day on there for.
I think it's coming, Barry.
Cars.
We've already seen with some college programs, they have advertising on the field. There's a lot, like I believe Washington has Alaska Airlines logo on the field. I think Oregon State has some hot dog company or something out there. I believe.
Will we see, as you make your way into Bryant-Denny Stadium, the big logo in the middle of the field, in the bottom left it says T-Town Menswear?
Could be. Mojo's
top right,
screamers.
Mojo's rims.
Yeah,
whatever, something like that. It could happen.
I think it could, Bear. I mean, people don't want to see it, but you see signage all over the stadium. I could see it there. Quickly about the WNBA, I think they came out recently, the players with some jersey that said,
pay us what you owe us.
Don't you? I mean, doesn't the business world work? You got to make money to be able to pay your employees. You don't
I've
have
heard people throw around figures, and sometimes I have a difficulty figuring out which figures are legit. Did Auburn Arena cost $91 million, or did it cost 83, depending on what side of the bed John woke up on that morning? Did Cam get the cost of scholarship books and board, or did he get $180,000? I've heard people say that the WNBA, on average, since its inception, has lost $40 million a year. And I'm a big women's basketball fan.
So talk show.
If you, people are all up in arms over that. But hey, he was losing money. Late night talk shows are losing money.
Bleeding money.
But here's
that.
What exactly is owed?
Yeah,
for employees of franchisees of a company that's losing $40 million a year.
I say, ladies, I hear what you're saying. I'm in your corner. I tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to disassociate you from the NBA and let you go out there and do it on your own. Y'all can make whatever you make. Hey, spread the profits around. They wouldn't do that in a heartbeat. They've got to have the NBA to keep them above water. And instead you start generating some money and making a profit, don't be throwing it in my face that you're not getting paid enough.
Yeah. If they gave you raises because, losing $50 million is only a little bit more than losing $40 million, that kind of a thing. I don't know. I love women's basketball.
Sure.
And actually, the product is pretty good. There's some overrated players, just like anywhere else, people that I don't really care about. But the actual basketball is pretty good.
Well,
but goodness knows, people have got to start watching it.
Barry, I don't know if
for
it's
them
the
to
actual,
start demanding their fair share.
I don't know if it's the actual basketball that has caught my attention. It's the rough play that has caught my attention in the WNBA. I mean, these ladies ain't taking anything off each other. Woo! Should I call them ladies? I guess I should.
Sure you can.
Yeah.
When we come back.
Yep.
Brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery, Alabama. It's Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com will join us as John and I broadcast live from the Montgomery Regional Airport. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, Competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
See if I can look between the T and the R.
How about right there? I can center my face up in the U. How about that? Yeah, Michelob Ultra, part of the great AB family. Anheuser-Busch that brings you Bud Light, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Busch Light, all the other great products that we tell you about here on the program.
We were mentioning, and we're going to talk with Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com in just a moment. He's due to check in with us from Tuscaloosa. We were mentioning with Jason and ourselves last couple of days about the calendar, what's coming up.
Yep.
The first college football game is now less than a month away. It is the Aer Lingus Classic, which will be on the 23rd in Dublin, Iowa State versus Kansas State. There's also the FCS kickoff at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Stanford at Hawaii at 6:30 that evening. So stuff like that. Also, he mentioned the 29th-ish.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of schools will begin preseason camp. Next week, NFL preseason.
No way.
Somebody was asking me, hey, does the Phantom ever go with an opinion, even just a TV opinion, on preseason NFL football? Well, it's pretty early. I mean, the early games, you know what that's like the one in Canton.
Sure.
You got guys, they're just throwing out there just to see, maybe you want to try this hot shot quarterback out and give him a couple passes. So you got to have people out there blocking for him. You don't want the number one guys getting hurt in Canton. So it would be, it seems like to me, it would be hard for the Phantom to handicap one of those games.
Some people call it the free season because you can get some good freebies, so to speak. The late, great Rich Clamian told me about preseason NFL football. It's all about the roster and what team is going to play starters the longest. And you'll hear some people say, well, we plan to play, Tom Brady 2 quarters today or whatever. And those are the kind of nuggets you're looking for there. It's a little bit different, but the key is trying to find out, and these handicappers do, how long players are going to starters are going to be playing.
Which also leads into, for instance, like you say, if you know Tom Brady is going to play 2 series, guess what? They ain't putting him out there with the unrestricted free agent signing that did not get drafted at left tackle.
Yeah.
So he can get clocked.
No
so
way.
you're going to have pretty good offensive linemen out there. Speaking of pretty good offensive linemen, up there covering Alabama athletics, TiderInsider.com. Rodney Orr is with us, presented by the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
That's exactly right. The freshest seafood direct from the Gulf, arriving daily at 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup. 288-4272. I should know that by heart. 288-4272 for the freshest seafood. And you looking for lunch? How about that grilled grouper po' boy? That's one of my favorites. Or fried shrimp, fried oyster, fried fish, you name it, they've got it at the Destin Connection Seafood Market here in Montgomery.
Rodney, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all today?
We're doing really, really well. We are getting close to the start of preseason camp, but yet again, a lot of times lately, it feels like we open the program by asking you about the latest 4-star or 5-star that Alabama has gotten a commitment from. Another quarterback, we understand, and it's been a pretty good season of hunting for quarterbacks for Kalen DeBoer?
Right. Yeah, Taden Kawa out of Orem, Utah. And we've mentioned him here on your segment a few times, over the last month or so. A guy 6'4", 6'5", 225, 230, really big. I mean, when you look at Jet Tamala, the previous commitment they got from the quarterback, the 4-star quarterback out of Nebraska, I mean, he's kind of the same way, 6'4", 6'5", maybe not quite as big, about 225, 210, but these are the kind of quarterbacks that I think Kalen DeBoer likes. Guy with height, very, very strong arm, smart, those types of things. Both these kids rated 4-star players.
I thought about that, Rodney, when I heard about him, those comments you made a week or so ago about the current quarterbacks that are on the roster. And probably a good chance one or maybe two might not be on the roster next year that are on the roster at the moment. Having this young man coming in next year certainly kind of strengthens that room if, in fact, there are some departures.
John and Barry, I'll be honest with you, and some people have raised eyebrows, but really, I mean,
I hope we haven't lost him.
Oh, wow. I did lose Rodney there. Maybe we can reestablish contact with him there.
Are we here? You got you,
we
John?
got you. There we are.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No. No, I was just saying it makes a lot of sense, nowadays in time to make sure your quarterback room's really safe because, you've got three, and you guys know this. These guys, if they're not playing, they're not going to stick around. I mean, Austin Mack has stuck around quite a while. I mean, this is his third year with this coaching staff, one at Washington. This will be his second year at Alabama. So, I mean, he's looking to play. And, next year when you kind of break this thing down, if Ty Simpson leaves, it'll probably come down to Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, and the guy that doesn't win it's probably gone. So that would mean two would be gone. Now Ty, of course, could come back, and if he does, you think those two young guys are going to stick around and wait another year? Probably not.
Yeah.
Possibly
him, and I wasn't going to ask this. Yeah. This is just a follow-up to what you just said. I thought it was great what Ty Simpson had to say in an interview this week. He said, look, I'm good. I just want the fans to know I'm going to do anything it takes to win the ball game. He said, I want to ensure what? I want to ensure that I'm the toughest player out there. That'll get your attention if you're a fan, for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Barry. It will get your attention. And, I think it's incredible that, Ty is from a football family. His father was his high school coach. So, and I think the mental side of the game, the toughness, the preparation, I don't think there's any question about that. It's just athletically. Is he gifted enough athletically? We've seen him run. We've seen him throw in certain positions in certain spots. But, Alabama's had a lot of great teams and a lot of great quarterbacks with guys that weren't so-called great athletes, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jalen Milroe was a great athlete. I wonder, Rodney, just your observations of Ty. There again, grew up in a football family. Father was his coach coming up. I think mentally and toughness and all that kind of stuff, he's got it.
Checks the boxes. Yeah.
What about on the athletic side?
No, I think he's got all the physical tools. I mean, I think, he's 6'2" plus. He's 210 pounds. He's got a really good arm. He's very mobile. He's not Jalen Milroe mobile, but he is a smart runner. He is he's a tough runner, and he also has a little juice in him. I mean, he can move better than people think. Great improvisation skills. I think he's got all the tools. Here's the thing with Ty. Number one is he doesn't have experience. He's been here 4 years and he's thrown 50 passes. So he doesn't have the experience. We don't really have a track record on him. And I think that there's confidence that Ty is the guy, will be the guy. But again, how does he respond to adversity? You guys know this. Well, quarterback, there's going to be ups and downs. And this is kind of what we've been saying about Ty. How does he respond to adversity on the road or whatever it is? These are questions that you can't answer until a guy actually, goes out there and does it.
It's a great point.
I hope we don't hear this season because we heard it last year. Jalen Milroe just doesn't fit into DeBoer's system. He's not his kind of quarterback. We're not going to hear that about Ty Simpson, are we?
No, I think Ty's a really good fit in the terms of his skills. Again, I think he's a good, strong passer. Again, it comes decision making. How do you respond to adversity? Those types of things are going to be key to whether or not, he's successful. But I think all the tools, he's got them. I mean, I really have always, since he was a sophomore in high school when we first heard about him, I mean, I've always really liked Ty Simpson's tools. He's got the tools.
Speaking of that, it also seems like like a broken record when we ask you late in the recruiting calendar if there's anybody else left out there that may fit. The recruiting has been so strong. What else? It sounds funny. What else can Alabama possibly need in recruiting? And what looks likely to you?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good question. I think that right now they have right now they have 20 commitments, obviously sitting right around 20, and obviously Tank Jones out of Mobile. I think he'll be I really think Tank's going to end up a defensive lineman. In college right now, he's probably projected as a Wolf outside linebacker. But I think I just see him growing into a defensive lineman eventually. So it's Alabama, Oregon, and Texas A&M. I think Alabama feels pretty good about where they are with him, but I don't think they have one of these feelings that, okay, we think we're the definite leader, because nobody really knows. Right. Oregon's in there really strong, A&M, and Alabama fans, this is the question they're asking about Tank Jones. I mean, what's the latest on Tank? Well, that was pretty much it as of last night, I can tell you. Some people think Oregon may have the inside track right now. Again, we'll see when he makes his decision, whether it's in a week or whether it's in 2 weeks. But right now, I think Alabama's definitely still in the mix, and they want him. They're targeting him really hard. Now, are there any other guys?
Yeah.
Potentially an offensive tackle, I guess, if they found the right one, whether it's the Bear Fretwell kid out of Georgia who's committed to Georgia Tech, or someone else, or there may be believe it or not, they may take another secondary player. We'll see what happens. I think they're loaded in the secondary. And again, the way the turnover is, you never know. But so that would probably be about it. And then, of course, they're saving some spots for the portal.
So with Tank, I got to believe that most people are coming to the conclusion that, Oregon's offering more money. I mean, if he's willing to go 2,000 miles away from home, this has got to be a financial decision. Is that the case to your understanding?
I would think that if it came down to picking Oregon, this is a lifelong Alabama fan, my understanding, and his family are Alabama fans, so to speak. I think that's kind of the way they grew up. You would have to think that certainly money would be an influence there if he got a big offer from Oregon, which I don't think they're shy about making big offers. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't speak specifically to that other than to say it would make sense.
When does preseason camp start?
I think it starts in 6 days. Next Wednesday, I think it is. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Man.
And John and Barry, I don't know yet. I haven't seen the schedule yet. I need to look at it, but it's I don't really know how many opportunities. The media viewing periods are limited, and so maybe we only had a couple, I think, in the spring. which is kind of, surprising, but nevertheless. So it's going to be this team, my understanding is, talking to people, really has had a great summer. A lot of players have taken big strides physically. So I look forward to the opportunity to see them, because believe it or not, even when you walk in there and you look at the team physically, just how they look, as I like to say, on the hoof, when you look at them on the hoof, you can tell some stuff about them. I mean, you really can. So look forward to that.
What would you think would be, in a general sense, for O coordinator, D coordinator, head coach, what do you think would be some of the early things in camp that they're going to have to find answers to quickly?
Well, I think, again, I think it all starts up front. Offensively, I think they probably feel pretty good about, where they are on the offensive line right now. Obviously Caden Proctor's back. I think they think Wilkin Formby can take a big step this year at right tackle. I think the spot that they really want to look forward to filling is that left guard position. And as we said on Tighter Insider TV on Tuesday night, I think Cam Dewberry's the guy to watch from Texas A&M, the transfer. He's got a lot of SEC experience. I've heard he's had a great summer. So Cam Dewberry at left guard, he could be the guy that solidifies that. Then you've got Parker Brailsford, might be the best center in the country. Drayden Roberts at right guard has been a guy that is obviously going into his third year. Gino Vandermark's another guy on the interior that can play all, really important guy, because he can play all three positions on the interior: center, right guard, left guard, and he can do it at a really high level. So I think Gino Vandermark's a key. And my understanding, John and Barry, a couple of these freshmen that they got, that came in the spring that we've talked about, Jackson Lloyd at left tackle, Michael Carroll, who can play right tackle or on the interior. Right. Those guys have been extremely impressive, throughout the summer. So that's some encouraging news. But other than that, no, I mean, I just think, again, I think they want to make sure, number one, they have the mindset right, which I think going into camp I would say, based on what I hear, it's really good. So I think they're set, man. I do. I just think it's getting out there and competing and doing it with the right mindset.
I want to ask you about one particular position group, but before I do that, 40 years ago, Rodney, I was on the hoof too. Gillette's, Lee's Tomb, the Brass Monkey. I was out checking out all of the athlete, all of
call it scouting.
Scouting as well.
Scouting.
But I went from being on the hoof to going woof. Oh, wow. So you got to be careful.
Meanwhile, I was at the sidetrack, John.
Yes. I remember the sidetrack. I sure do. Yes. Okay. Running backs. I hadn't heard a lot about. We talked with you in the spring about it. The running game at Alabama, I didn't think it was overly dynamic last year. What are you hearing through the summer? What are you expecting with the running game this fall?
Well, Barry had a great question earlier, John. That's a great question. That's a great question, man.
Thank you, Rodney.
Man, you guys are those are good questions. No, I think the really, again, here's the thing. I think they're solid enough. I don't think there's a feeling that they've got a guy that's just real dynamic right now. That's going to be, the guy that's going to, but again, solid enough. I want to be careful and not sound negative at all. But I just, Alabama fans they're used to the Josh Jacobs, the Derrick Henrys, and the Mark Ingrams and Trent Richardsons. I don't think there's a guy like that in this group. But now Jam Miller's solid. He's been around. He's got a lot of experience. Behind him's going to be interesting. Richard Young was a highly touted kid when they recruited him. He's a redshirt sophomore now. He's a guy that runs pretty well when you talk about, just power and the ability to get the tough yards. I think he's, probably got to get a little more finesse in him. And then Daniel Hill may be a guy to watch. I've heard a lot about Daniel Hill, heard a lot about him after spring, because he runs with power and authority. He breaks tackles. That's the one thing they want to see out of this running back room, is somebody that can, break tackles, get extra yardage, make a guy miss here or there. Then you've got a couple other guys. Obviously Dre Washington is he's a transfer from Louisiana. You've got AK Deer, who's a true freshman. You got Kevin Riley back. So it's a loaded room in terms of numbers, but I'm not sure that they've got necessarily that, that stud back right now.
You mentioned Daniel Hill. I've heard he is a workout phenom. Loves to press the iron.
Yeah, he's about 235, 240.
Good.
He's a sledgehammer running back. And he can catch the ball really well especially for a big guy. So no, Daniel Hill's a guy. Remember that name. He wears number 4. Changed his number, but he's a guy to really watch. And so it's a solid. But here's the thing: these guys
TJ
are probably
wearing TJ Yeldon's number.
Exactly. But these guys, you got to remember, the offensive line creating holes, creating opportunities. That's going to be the key for them.
No question.
No doubt about it. We're only 20 minutes into it, man. This is kind of quick for Rodney.
This
today.
is good stuff as always. So many other things available on the website. You mentioned TITV. When does that normally come on the website, Rodney?
Yeah, TITV, we do it live Tuesday nights at 6:30, and we usually have it posted by 8:30 or 9 o'clock. It's on the front page. If your listeners just want to go listen to it, they can. It's there or watch it. It's right there right now.
Bunch of other stuff as well. A ton of conversation, late breaking news, opinions, commentary as well. TiderInsider.com. What are the details about becoming a subscriber?
Right. It's TiderInsider.com. It's only $48 a year, and you can get instant access with your credit card if you prefer. There is an address there to send a check, gives you all our premium information, but also, as you mentioned, our all sports forum. It's our community of Alabama fans, and it's a great community, man. There's a lot of discussion, a lot of things going on in that regard, and we're going to have some updates later today on some stuff that I think people might be interested in, is recruiting as well as some other things. But it's all right there on TiderInsider.com.
Rodney, obviously I love going to TI for the information about Alabama football and Alabama athletics. But Barry, you can find out comments about other schools too at Tider Insider.
It is a wide-ranging conversation all the time. Always appreciate you, Rodney. Thanks very much. We look forward to the next time.
Okay, guys. Hey, I appreciate it. Take care.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Barry, it might be 50-50, Bama and other schools.
Maybe so.
Could be.
Maybe so. All of it's brought to you, our visit with Rodney Orr, brought to you by all the folks at the Destin Connection Seafood Market. We've got fresh takes, fresh commentary from Rodney Orr, and it's brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, where the best adjective you can use to describe them is fresh.
Well, you're right about that, Bear. Earlier in the week, we showed you some pictures of some red snapper that I picked up at the Destin Connection last Friday. Picked it up here in Montgomery, and I drove it to the Gulf Coast, had it packed up in some ice, and that evening, the little lady got it all prepared for us and put it in the fryer for about 4 minutes. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I bought my seafood here and then took it back down there because I know it's the absolute freshest seafood direct from the Gulf. It was red snapper, but they got so many other types of fresh fish there for you as well. Oysters, shrimp, medium, large, and jumbo size. They have crawfish. They got the seasonings. They got the dips. They got it all for you as well, and they can even prepare it for you if you would like them to do that as well. Great lunch spot for poor boys. We talk about that. Or seafood plates. They can do it for you, whether you want to cook it or they will cook it for you. 3750 Norman Bridge Road, 288-4272, the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
So, the sidetrack.
Yes.
Bob, that's not the right one. Sorry, Plainsman Preston. This is derailers?
Derailers.
There was a drink called the derailer?
Yes.
At the sidetrack?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
It would derail you. It's kind of like the crazy bucket at Harry's. Harry's had the crazy bucket. Sidetracked had the derailer. Of course, Galette's came up with the yellow hammer. They didn't have a yellow hammer when I was in school. originated after I left. Lee's Tomb was a great spot. That was in downtown. Brass Monkey. Trying to think of some of the other ones.
Well, we've only a 2-hour window here, so
yeah,
we may
there were
have
some
to cut
good
that
ones back
short.
there. We're at the Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it. FlyMGM.com.
I like how John wasn't distracted when this man and woman were over there. They were checking in, and they had the little dog, the little lap dog, and you can hear it yip yip in the background.
Thinking, what is that?
Yeah. We've got a dog coming up for you in just a moment. We do, by the way.
Barry, did you notice also the group that was flying out, and the lady had on an Alabama Roll Tide shirt, and the guy had on an Auburn sweatsuit?
We'll see a lot of different things here at the Montgomery Regional Airport. I know you noticed the gentleman, the service member.
Oh, yes.
With his camouflage uniform on, right in front of us to the left about 20 minutes ago, checked in, and
his wife and child
were flying out. And right in front of us, got a little kiss, kissed the little boy and everything like that. Man. Big hug. We were on the air live, and there were some tears. And I mean, the Montgomery Regional Airport.
And also, Barry, it's amazing who you see here. I saw one of our Special Olympians coming through today as well, boarding a plane. So certainly did recognize
everybody's doing it. Everybody is just making the single trip. They're not making double trips to get to where they need to go. They're coming to the Montgomery Regional Airport. Don't miss the opportunity. Seems like everybody else is really picking up on the fact that this is the place to begin your journey. You need to pick up on that as well. Montgomery Regional Airport, we're in the terminal. We'd love to see you here. We've got Longshore McKnight stickers. Gave a couple to Theotis just a little while ago. He wanted to hurry back so he would be in position to listen to Rodney Orr. Yeah. And he was. He said he made it fine, so that's good. We've got the Phantom's Daily Dog, also Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel coming up on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
We're back here live at the Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it. Barry, we want to say thank you. So appreciative, particularly our viewers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Man, really appreciate everybody checking us out on Facebook. I know a lot of people are watching right now because
the numbers dictate
we
that
can see
on.
how many people are viewing it.
Over the last week, we have had several shows that are in the tens of thousands of viewership. And again, we are right now probably 2 weeks away from our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah,
we were talking with Plainsman Preston Theotis about this a little while ago about, how we're so far ahead of schedule and did we expect it? quite frankly, John and I expect success no matter what we do. You know, I mean, that's kind of our mindset.
Yep.
We expected this to be successful. Otherwise, you know, why waste your time? But it's even exceeded what we had thought, at least to this point. We've still got a lot more to do and a lot of growth that we're planning on. But as of right now, it has been very gratifying to see the response.
Well, it really has, Barry. We couldn't do it without you. You, the viewer, and you, the listener. That's what makes it work, and that's why it happens, is because of you. We greatly appreciate it. Also, our fine sponsors. Could not do it without them as well. We greatly appreciate all of our partnerships with our sponsors here on Longshore McKnight. And if you'd like to showcase your business, we can certainly help you out with that as well.
Might as well, just to get it started, just to work on it right now. If you have that interest, just lob us an email, longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com, and we'll have the, also this, John Dent, we originate the program on YouTube. That's where the program originates and runs through. Tons of you guys. I don't have the numbers right now on YouTube, but we were tracking the numbers just during the break from Facebook. We have thousands and thousands of YouTube listeners and watchers. A lot of people listen to us while they're on the go on Spotify. I had a guy says, I listen to you. I watch you in the morning, but I also listen to a couple of things in the afternoon on Spotify. You can scrub it along to the interview you want. And
that's right.
You don't have to listen to the whole show. You can listen to bits and pieces, but it's been really great so far. Also a good point from John. We're going to work on lighting a little bit. We had special lighting we brought with us to Atlanta because we knew it'd be a little dark here. Here's what we've got, though, at the Montgomery Regional Airport. You know, we've got backlighting here, which I'm not going to get all into the technical part of it, television-wise, but backlighting means that our faces are going to be a little bit darker because there's not as much light coming from the front. We need to get some lights up front. We had the option of turning around and facing the light. You say, why didn't you do that? Well, because then we got the terminal behind us, and there's security issues where they don't necessarily want everything going on at the terminal out on live video broadcast. So, you know, this is what we're doing right now. We understand. We appreciate you hanging in there with us with that. And it's another one of those things we will continue to improve upon in the program. Although,
but Barry, some people said we've never looked better.
Yeah, the less you can make out of us, the better it is. Although, again, we're here at the Montgomery Regional Airport. Getting better the more you use it. MGM.com is the website. It's hard to imagine improving much more than what the Phantom has been able to give you in the Phantom's Daily Dog. NBA season, I got to admit, come clean, when we first came up with the idea of, hey, the Phantom is willing to give us a daily pick, a daily dog every day. And I thought, well, it's going to be great during football season. But, man, how's he going to come up with some of these dogs during the NBA? How's he going to come up with a daily dog in Major League Baseball in July and August? Shut my mouth, because the Phantom has been killing it in the NBA and Major League Baseball.
Well, appreciate that. And thanks to David from Opelika that emailed us about that as well. So many other people have certainly commented on it. Hey, look, we're trying to provide winners. It's not going to happen every day, but we're going to give you more winners than losers. That's our goal. That's what we're trying to do here. And yep, we have been on a really good streak throughout the spring and summer with the NBA and Major League Baseball. We're going to continue on with it as well. Looking into football season, that'll be a lot of fun as well. Obviously not a football game every night or every day, but certainly we can sprinkle in other things as well. This will not, Barry, substitute or eliminate the Phantom 4 on Fridays during football season. 4 selections against the spread every Friday on the program. Sometimes there's the Phantom 5. It just depends. But mainly the Phantom 4 on Fridays. We'll do that each and every Friday throughout the season. Also, I can let you know, now that we're talking about it, Lee Sterling on Fridays as well will join us. Walt Michaels from Wager Talk on Fridays. So we got you covered there. Luganville on Mondays at 7:30.
Good.
Spoke with Lugs yesterday. So Luganville will be on us with us every Monday for a recap. So we got you covered with that coming up the football season.
Yeah. Luganville, by the way, if you follow him on Twitter, it's a great Twitter account. This week, he has been really focusing on all the SEC talk. There has been a lot of SEC conversation that he has been covering because he's been at ACC Media Days this week.
That's true.
That
is definitely true. All right, so you mentioned the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yeah.
Barry, you know, you can't fall asleep in this business, and you can't assume.
Money never sleeps.
Money never sleeps. You cannot assume. So here's what I'm getting to with you here. Yesterday's game, I believe, first pitch, 11:10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now, is it the Phantom's responsibility to send you out a reminder, or maybe in the afternoon say, well, if you weren't on this winner today, that was your fault? Maybe, but that's just not our style. We believe that you're, you know, mature and grown enough to realize, when's this game start? I think he said 11:10. Let me double check.
Yes. How you use the Phantom's information is wholly up to you. We do not condone any type of illegal gambling, for instance.
Not at all.
This is purely for entertainment purposes. So
yes,
if the Phantom says, and he means it, after I release the information, you're on your own. Do with it what you will. I ain't going to remind you.
No.
I'm not going to trash talk you afterwards. I can't believe, you know, it's like some of those road signs you see. You've already missed us. Go back to the last exit to get your lottery tickets.
Yeah.
You know,
hey,
kind of
the dog knows. Hey, that dog is barking. He's ready for that dog.
Yep.
He knows it's coming.
It ain't the only dog that's barking in this segment. I can promise you that.
There's no doubt about it. So, yesterday's game was at 11:10, Barry.
Mm-hmm.
If you missed it, hate it for you. You know, I hate it for you. David didn't miss it.
He can't hold your hand.
Barry, we had the Florida Marlins at home hosting the San Diego Padres. The Marlins were plus 125 in that game at home last night.
Yep.
Yesterday afternoon.
Right.
I don't know how many people were there. I kind of quipped about the attendance, thinking, it might be in front of about $2,000. Who knows? But, you know, I don't really care. You know, I like a big crowd. I like a lot of excitement and noise and pomp and circumstance. But the bottom line is, Barry, I'm looking for winners. I'm looking for winners.
I'm not sure what the attendance was, but I'm looking at some photographic shots.
Yeah.
You know, the players, Sandy Alcantara and all those guys.
Uh-huh.
And judging from the background,
not a lot of people at the game.
6,000 maybe,
Wow.
8,000.
Okay.
But here's the deal.
All right.
Phantom took Miami as the Daily Dog.
I did. The Marlins
got a 3-1 lead.
Oh, yeah, we did.
After 5.
That's
Doing
right.
well.
That's right.
And then here comes the bullpen.
Got a little squirrely in the 7th, I believe.
Well, the 8th.
8.
Yeah.
8.
San Diego did score a run in the 8th.
Yes.
But that was it.
That was it.
Yep. We told you that Alcantara and Dylan Cease for the Padres are two guys who have been, well, Alcantara won the Cy Young. Dylan Cease may have won it as well, but I know he finished in the top 2. Neither of them having a great year. Cease was pretty bad. Marlins 3.
That's all we
Padres
needed.
2.
That's all we needed yesterday, Barry. We got it. A 3-2 victory. Mm-hmm. It was a win, and we kind of got it going. So today, we're going from one extreme to the other. We're going from one extreme to the other. 11:10 yesterday. Tonight, Barry, 8:38.
This must be a West Coast game.
8:38. Check that start time. That's a little unusual. I don't know why it's 8:38, but it is. Hey, we're talking about Seattle, the Mariners, at the LA Angels tonight. What's the name of that stadium they play in?
The Angel Stadium, as a matter
Angel
of fact.
Stadium.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
That's right. Seattle is plus 110 at the Angels tonight.
Right-hander Logan Evans on the mound for Seattle. Don't much about him. He's a 3-3 record.
Okay.
Yusei Kikuchi.
Who? Ucheka.
No, Yusei Kikuchi.
Oh, Yusei Kikuchi.
Kikuchi. Who is he? Charo?
Wait, wasn't that Kajagugu with two shy?
Kikuchi. There's probably a punchline in there somewhere. If your name is Kikuchi, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Kikuchi's 4-6. He's a left-hander. 3.13 ERA. Right now, the Mariners pretty good, pretty good. The Angels are average. What do we see?
Okay, we're going to see tonight. We're on the road here, Barry. So no big deal. We're on the road, but we're catching about $110 tonight. So we like Seattle plus 110
solid.
at the dot. 8:38. Is the first pitch.
8:38 Central time.
Time.
Yes.
And I think it's on Major League Baseball Network. Who knows? All right. Let me check the
I
time.
believe
here.
you're right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 8:39, man.
We'll take a break.
Let's do it.
When we come back, the fabled Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel is next with Longshore and McKnight from the Montgomery Regional Airport in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Now through July 31st, take advantage of the quadruple zero event at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. 0% APR for up to 48 months. 0 down payment. 0 payments for 90 days and 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. The quadruple zero event offer is available on select 24 and 25 model F-150s, Explorers, Expeditions, Broncos, Mustangs, and Escapes. Stop by Stivers Ford at 4000 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery for more information. Stivers Ford, where price sells cars and trucks.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the river region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. We're live here at the Montgomery Regional Airport. Getting better the more you use. We talked about when we started the broadcast, Barry, that first wave leaves right about when we're going on the air. We're actually, before we go on the air, while we're setting up, right. Dallas, Charlotte, and Atlanta. And, of course, the next wave's coming through. A lot of big passengers coming through the terminal, boarding the next wave of flights that are departing from MGM, where whether you're going to those locations or you're making connections there. We certainly don't want to forget about Washington's Reagan National Airport, direct nonstop flights there as well. That flight leaves in the evening, gets you to D.C. In the evening, and, of course, coming back, you get back around 4:45, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, coming back from D.C. Easy. So it's very convenient. A lot of people have asked me, do people make connections in D.C.? You know, they actually do, Barry. It's kind of what they call a mini hub for American Airlines. Okay. And, you know, Reagan is kind of, right there. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of congested, and it's right there on the river across from the city, but very convenient to get into the city. When I fly into Reagan, my daughter lives there. I mean, you know, I'm at her apartment in no time. I mean, it's like it being here. I mean, you can you're so close to the airport. But yes, people will say you're going to Boston, New York, Hartford, Connecticut, anywhere in the Northeast. They use that as a connection point as well. So a lot of people use the D.C. flight to make connections to maybe other areas that they may be going if they're not stopping there, or their final destination being the nation's capital.
As you can probably tell, this has happened a little bit back behind us here, and we're in the lobby here, the main terminal at Montgomery Regional Airport. It is technically not the white zone, but it is for loading and unloading back there. I didn't want to start with our white zone stuff this morning, but that's the parking lot right behind us. It is right there. You talk about convenience. There. Yeah.
Drop off your party there at curbside, and it's very, very convenient here at MGM. So we highly recommend it.
Here we go. Let's do it. For those people who don't know, we always love the segment that Gurn Jr. curates for us. It's the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. He's come up with topics We have not seen them. We don't know them. We react off. This is not rehearsed. This is not scripted, which is the way we found out we do things best.
No
around
doubt.
here.
On the fly.
And it's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off of I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
That's right.
What do we have?
Let's
what
take
do
a
we
look.
got? What's the story here?
Man, we got 5 categories. As Barry mentioned, we have not seen these topics yet. Let's go ahead and spin it away and see what comes up first on the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel.
What do we got?
On a
What do
Thursday.
we got? Sold out?
Oh,
suspended?
Hey, I've been there before. Woo. Know about that?
Suspended. Who got suspended?
Let's see here.
A post-fight brawl? All right.
Wait a minute.
This is tough enough. Okay.
That's a penalty?
Hernandez submitted Hunsinger with a standing guillotine.
Oh, I think he.
Oh, and there's a gesture involved.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. He didn't like it. He didn't
now
like
his
it.
corner comes in.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't
You
like
can't
it.
go Michael
He said
Jackson
something.
and go crotch grab.
I think he did the old Damon Duval to the other guy's corner. I mean, he got him to submit.
Yeah.
And then after it's over with, he gives what the story calls an X-rated gesture. And the opposing corner guys, they vault the chain link fence.
Yeah.
They're coming after him.
You know, Barry, I got to give credit to the opposing fighter's corner. They're not going to take any of that crap.
Yeah.
So they came in there and finished it off. So wait a minute. We're not going to let you do that.
Yep. They've seen the video of Don Lindsay at the Memphis State game. You know they're going to be
That was
ready
the
to
old
go.
Miss game. Jumped into the stands.
Well, who got in the fight at the Memphis State game?
That's when somebody threw
the
a brick.
through Curry's window. Well said. Well said.
Yeah,
Okay, so there's that. A suspension coming. But I didn't really know who this is. The suspension for the fighter who gave the X-rated gesture, or for the opposing fighter's corner who came over and took a couple swings at it?
That's a good question, Barry.
Maybe both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe all of
But
them.
I
They all
got to
need
give it
get
up to the
suspended.
corner. They're not taking any of that. They're
I
standing up
say
for their
let 'em all
guy.
crash.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
What
What else we got?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. 4 more to go.
I kind of thought sold out was where it was going to land. I was
Yeah,
ready
man, this wheel's kind of slippery. You got to watch
Okay,
it.
here we go.
Spin around where it lands. Nobody knows.
4 straight.
Wait a minute. Talking about iron bowls?
4
What
straight.
are we talking about?
No.
Oh,
Shohei. 4 straight games with a home run. This was first inning? No, it was later.
Made you hear that off the wood?
Yeah.
Man, great sound effect. Look at all those empty seats. Wow.
Yeah. Shohei, best player in Major League Baseball. You know, I think it was Buster Olney. Either Buster Olney or Tim Kirkjian, 2 Major League Baseball insiders. One of them said, look, I mean, he's leading the National League in home runs.
Yep.
And he's pitching as well. He had an arm injury last year, couldn't pitch. And he's back. He said, look, if he pitched full time, he'd be the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, too. So, again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm a big Ohtani fan. What we're seeing is one of the best players, maybe the best player all around in Major League Baseball history. And I know a little bit about Major League Baseball history. Maybe, just maybe, we're seeing something that we've never seen before.
I think so. I agree. I'm not as I don't follow baseball as closely as you do, but I do know about this guy.
He's something.
And you don't see a baseball player in the majors that can pitch and hit.
Not to that degree.
Not
I
to
mean,
that degree at all. It's amazing.
It's been something.
So,
Okay.
Barry, of all the big baseball guy you are, is there a major league venue that you've never been to that you'd like to go see a game?
I've only ever been to about 3.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one that I would love to go to, it would probably be Fenway. I mean, I've been outside Wrigley Field. I've walked outside Wrigley Field, but it was about 10 degrees in Chicago, and I didn't get a chance to savor it or anything. But Fenway, I'd like to go to Fenway. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I've always thought Dodger Stadium. I want to watch a game in Dodger Stadium. I don't know why. It doesn't have the history of Wrigley or Fenway.
I'm a big Dodger fan.
But I think that'd be kind of cool.
I would. You know, it may be, other than Fenway and Wrigley, I think it's the 3rd oldest park in the major leagues. I think it was constructed in 1962.
It still looks good.
The first, they've done a great job with it. The first thing about it, my first attraction growing up, why I wanted to go to Dodger Stadium, is that's where Vin Scully was. But now that he's no longer with us, he's been gone for about 3 years. I'd like to see it, but it wouldn't be at the
Not
top
your number
of
one
my
choice.
list. Yes,
I mean,
that's a good
San
question.
Diego, I think, would be kind of cool. They don't get enough love anyway, so I'd maybe like to
agree.
see a game
Yes.
there. But I don't
That's
know. I'm
exactly
just,
right.
I think, Dodger Stadium, I think, would be kind of cool.
I think so too. Yep. What
All
else
right,
we got?
Let's
Keep
see
it
what
going.
else we got going here. More on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. 3 more big topics. We
We're
have no
ahead of
idea what these could be. Spinning it around. Yellow, blue, and green.
Sold out. No, we best sold out again. I thought we were going to get it. Watching and waiting.
What did
Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys, best defensive player in the NFL, and the Cowboys are in Oxnard. They've got their preseason camp going on. His deal is in negotiation. He wants a new deal. He's been really, really good.
Yep.
He has been looking for a contract extension. His agent has been calling the Cowboys, but Jerry hasn't been returning his call.
Wow, Jerry, come on.
And Micah, he's not going to play without a contract, or you've got a contract, not going to play without an extension. You're seeing that happen with a few guys, and usually the ownership will capitulate. I think TJ Watt got a huge deal last week with the Pittsburgh Steelers because he was patient. There's a couple of other guys that are out there right now. I can't think of the one I'm trying to think of, but this is when, I mean, you played poker. You can't show anything.
Yeah. Well, it's Tom
the
Petty.
Cowboys. The Cowboys are not going to do anything this year. I think Dak is already in his 11th year. I think that's right.
What is his QBR?
And he has not led them. Of course, he got hurt last year. He has not led them to a Super Bowl. I can tell you that confidently because the last Super Bowl the Cowboys were in was like 89.
Hey,
is that
Cowherd put up a screen yesterday while I was enjoying my lunch. What did I have yesterday? It was a ham sandwich. Actually, it was a ham sandwich. He put up a panel on the screen of all the teams that have made the conference championship game before the Cowboys. And I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, the Saints are up there. The Falcons are up there. I'm thinking, really? And then I looked at the years and I'm thinking, what's up with the Cowboys? Why is everybody just falling all over themselves for the Dallas Cowboys? Obviously, they market themselves extremely well. They promote themselves. Jerry's very out front, wants to be on TV all the time. People know about the Cowboys. They've got a quarterback. I will stand by a statement I made 6-7 years ago.
That turned everybody's head in the showroom at Stivers Ford Lincoln.
Dak Prescott is not a top 10 NFL quarterback. You could have heard the needle scratch.
What? I was like, what? You got to be kidding me. He's great. John, no.
He's not any good.
Well, the Cowboys, I stand corrected, they did win the Super Bowl in 1996.
96.
Remember that because they won the Super Bowl in 96.
Yeah.
They haven't appeared in a Super Bowl since. John and I have been together nearly 29 years.
Yep. So that dog knows it
and
too.
And we have never commented on Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys.
Barry,
the whole time we've been together.
How about conference champion? Have they won a conference champion? Have they even been in the conference championship game since 96?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Well,
so I don't know why everybody. But there again, Barry, how many times are the Cowboys going to be on Monday night? How many times are they going to be on Sunday night? How many times they got an afternoon game at 3 o'clock on a Sunday? I get it. And I've heard you say before, well, they're not any good. Don't matter. The star sells.
It makes no sense.
It's like the golden helmets of Notre Dame. They sell.
When we come back,
I hear you up there, doggy. I hear you.
Yeah, that dog over there.
Yeah. Smart dog.
Dog's about 1.5 pounds. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hand's employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
All right, welcome back in. About 5 minutes to the top of the hour with two more panels on Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Let's see what is left. Been some good ones so far. I believe these will match the previous three. The wheel is spinning. It's blue and green. It is going to land on
ejected.
The old thumb.
Yep, a heave-ho.
Oh, this sound like this, Barry. When the manager gets
I love
thrown
me
out.
some Aaron Boone. Yankees manager, they threw him out.
Yeah. Ooh. Whew. Man, this looks personal.
Oh, that guy, I can't think of his name. But Boone, he'll get thrown out for balls and strikes. He's the guy at one time with Angel Hernandez, where he kind of mocked him and everything. Booney will get on him. The hitter is Anthony Volpe, who's his shortstop, and he was arguing balls and strikes. And for a major league umpire, that's
he's coming back.
No-no.
He is coming back. Whoa!
By the way, the Toronto Blue Jays win. Yankees are not had 4 errors yesterday, and they're not playing good baseball right now.
Huh? You know, it looked like he took his tobacco out of his mouth before
I didn't think you were even supposed to anymore. To me.
You know,
Now, the more he's talking, the better he's getting. You know,
yeah.
he was okay at the beginning, and now he's talking and still. And that umpire.
Whoa! I think I just read his lips. Wow! Can you say that to an ump?
Well, not without getting thrown out.
Jeez!
Sure.
I mean, F-bomb city. Wow! Man, I ought to be a lip reader.
He says, "I'm full of you."
Yeah. I wonder why this ump's letting this go on this long.
I don't know, really. There was something. Was there a reference to a fire truck? I think they said. I'm not great at lip reading.
Oh, when the other umps come in, Barry?
Yeah,
See,
this
I love that.
You know, I'm not a provocative guy like that. I mean, I could get thrown out and I'd say something, but it would tick me off when the first base umpire comes in and he's trying to block me out. Get out of my way! Don't touch me! No, I'm here talking with this guy. Get out of my way.
That was good.
That's a good.
So when he went back to the dugout, then turned around, so I forgot something.
Oh yeah, and by the way, while I'm thinking of it, the same goes for you too.
That reminded me, Barry. I don't know where we can pull this clip up because I can't even tell you what game it was. Gene Stallings did that in the game. He was into the ref, then he turned around. They said, "Well, I forgot about something." He walked back and got into his face again.
Furthermore, that's what happened with Mel Muschamp one time on the sidelines at an Auburn game.
Yeah,
I think he got 2 15-yard penalties and got kicked out.
I do remember that. Yeah. Where's Muschamp today? I don't know. Let's see what we got.
Less than 2 minutes.
Let's see what we got here on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It is
sold out.
Yep.
All
well,
right.
let's see. Sold out.
Boom. Okay.
I don't think this.
I think I know what this one is. I think. Yep. North Carolina.
Whoa.
Every single ticket that a North Carolina fan can possibly buy for the upcoming season has been sold out. I guess you can go on to StubHub or Ticketmaster or something like that. And you know, if the visiting team sells some of their allotment and you can get, but in terms of season tickets, those mini ticket packages that you always have for the Mercer game and stuff, the individual game packages, you cannot buy a ticket to a North Carolina home football game through the North Carolina ticket office. Done. It's not even August yet.
I mean, the Belichick factor?
In case you're wondering, North Carolina has never done that.
Amazing.
Ever.
Maybe in basketball, but not football. That is absolutely amazing.
Belichick.
The Belichick factor. Are they going to be any good?
No.
I mean, I heard one of these guys. Of course,
Pat Narduzzi from Pitt. He said, "Look, he said they actually were talking ACC football when Pat Narduzzi was there, which is weird at ACC media days." He said somebody asked him about Belichick. He said, "Look, I expect North Carolina and Pitt to be playing in the ACC championship game."
Man.
The good news is that Belichick's bringing a lot of excitement. The bad news is he's Bill Belichick.
Yep.
If he doesn't play for the ACC championship, even though North Carolina has not been great, they're going to say he's lost it. He can't do it anymore. They're going to criticize him. So it's got to be championship or nothing for a guy who's won that many Super Bowls.
I'm thinking the interest level, it's going to be big at first. If they lose and things aren't going real well,
we can tell you the interest level at the Montgomery Regional Airport, because we've seen it in our own eyes all morning long, has never been higher. People are starting to get it. It's starting to sink in to some of you hardliners. This is the place to go to start your trip. You don't start your trip by driving 2 hours somewhere else or 3 hours somewhere else. Start it here. One trip, not two, and it starts at the Montgomery Regional Airport.
It certainly does. For more information, go to flymgm.com. You can even book flights through their website as well. So much information, you need to check it out. All right, tomorrow I will be at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Barry will be in Troy.
Yep.
He'll be on with us
almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
Yep. We got graduation tomorrow, and I got to get out early. We hope you join us then. We appreciate everything. Goodness, the numbers have been really good, and we are deeply appreciative. For Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com, Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com, Gurn Jr., he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Thanks for watching Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.